Welcome everyone to the battle between Ivan Zemlyanskii and Praggnanandhaa from the second round of the FIDE Grand Swiss 2025. Ivan on your screen is just 15 years old, born in August 2010. This youngster became a grandmaster at the age of 13 years and 8 months, and he is a super talent. And there he shakes hands with another super talent, this boy from Turkey, Edis Gurel. And Ivan is rated 2586. Today he takes on Praggnanandhaa. It's very interesting to see that in the second round we've had Ivan, who is 15-year-old, take on Prag, who's 20. Then on the top board we had Yas Khan, who's 14 years old, taking on Gukesh, who's 19. So like the next generation is already beginning to challenge these top players. Prag, Gukesh, Arjun, Nodirbek, Kaimer, no longer the younger ones. And there you see Prag has entered in. He drew his first game against Jeffrey Jeong. He is the top seed of the tournament here. Prag, with an ELO of 2785, has been having a phenomenal year of 2025. How will FIDE Grand Swiss be for him? And his first game today with the white pieces, this will be very, very interesting to see how things pan out. He adjusts all his pieces. Generally, Prag takes his time not only before the game but even after the clock start. He generally takes a minute or so to calm himself down to make his first move. And Prag here is playing on board number 9, and as he gets up, Ivan comes back, and now finally both of them sit down together on the board. The games are about to begin. In the background you see Levon Aronian, MVL, all these world class players playing a handshake, and the clocks have started. Prag opens the game with c4, the English opening, and knight comes out to f6, and now knight to c3 played. He plays his pawn to d5, and now pawn takes pawn is possible here. He takes it. This is kind of like a Grunfeld variation, but without white having committed to pawn d4 very soon. Brings his knight to f3. I like this system for white actually. You have two central pawns. You also can bring your queen out, and c5 played, trying to grab some space in the center. g3 exactly. The bishop will be very well placed on this diagonal. g6 played by Ivan, and he wants to put his bishop on this square. Now this line is very reminiscent of, playing this with the opposite colors, where black is the one who's generally playing queen b6 with the knight on c6 and putting pressure here. Knight to b4 is an excellent move because you are planning moves like bishop e6. You block the b file. You want to get your knight to c6. It's all well-known stuff. And Prag goes knight e4 after a good solid 13 minutes of thought. And look at Ivan. He gets a bit surprised that why is Prag doing this, and plays bishop g7. Excellent move here by Zemlyanskii, calling out Prag, who chops off the pawn. But now, guys, queen a5, an excellent move, or knight c6, both good moves. And here the problem for Prag is that although he's a pawn up, look at the development here. He goes bishop g2. He's quickly aiming to castle here. And now queen a5, another beautiful move, attacking the knight. You cannot play d4. This is well protected square. So Prag has to be careful now. He's being put under pressure. He goes queen c4 and defends the knight here. And there could be potentially b5, but b6 played. Also a good move. Castles was also good, just quickly completing your development. The knight comes back to b3. And now I have to be careful. Okay, if you play a move like bishop a6, then the queen is hanging, so that's not a good idea. He plays his queen to a6 here, offering a trade of queens, which is possible. But then after bishop a6, he goes knight e5. What a move by Pragg. Because if you take here, by the way, knight takes e5, then b4 is hanging. So queen takes c4 and he takes back knight c4. You can't give a check just yet because of bishop c6 later. So bishop e6 played, putting pressure on the c4 knight. d3 played here by Praggnanandhaa, defending this knight on c4. And now Ivan can go rook c8, defending his own knight and preparing knight c2 exactly. This youngster is playing incredibly well here. And Pragg being put to huge test. He castles here. And now a very good move is knight to c2. But Ivan castles, which is also fine. The main problem that white faces is that black has b5, knight c2, bishops are aiming at the queen side. So Pragg, trying to complete his development, goes bishop d2. And now knight to c2 played, attacking the rook on a1. Pragg has 36 minutes, Ivan has 43 minutes on the clock. Rook goes to d1. Well, he could have potentially even played rook c1, but then knight d4 attacks the e2 pawn. So he went rook d1 and now bg4, another beautiful move by Ivan. What a player this youngster is. He is putting immense pressure on Pragg. And f3 played here, and he deeply understands that now going back is really good because he's managed to kind of shut down the bishop on g2. So fantastic chess here, and Pragg now has to decide how he's going to continue. He plays rook c1, and a very good move now is knight to b4, attacking the a2 pawn, because if a3, you have this move knight a2 and b5. But instead, Ivan goes bishop c4 and kind of, this is kind of petering out, like not the best way to deal with this, because he's somehow going to get back his pawn, but the pressure is now reduced. King f2, defending the pawn on e2, and while Ivan will get back. Now this last couple of decisions made by him were more out of the fact that he wanted his material back, and he does get it. You see, he gets back his pawn, but the problem that you will notice is that Pragg now has the bishop pair after rook b1, and this is definitely something that Pragg would enjoy playing here. Bishop d4 check is met with e3. He goes bishop a3, maybe to put the bishop on c5 or b4. Black would love to trade one of the bishops here. And Pragg goes pawn to f4. He keeps his pawn on e2 flexible. He could go e3 or e4. The bishop opens up on the long diagonal. Rook goes to d8, putting pressure on the bishop here on d2. And maybe bishop e3 is what Pragg can do here. He goes rook d1, which is also a good move. The position is absolutely even. Bishop goes to b4, offering a trade here. And he goes bishop e3, avoiding the trade of bishops. And knight to a5 is played here, attacking the pawn on b3. The rook comes up to d3. So very interesting stuff here. Pragg slowly starting to put some pressure on Ivan, who goes king f8. And these are the kinds of position where Pragg excels. Rook a1 he plays. And his point is, if rook takes d3, e takes d3, knight b3, you have rook b1 and you win material. So king e8 played here. And Prag's idea is now to go rook a4. It's a good move. And he plays it. And the thing is, you can't go bishop c5 because of bishop takes, rook takes, and b4. So he goes bishop d6, rightly so. And now it's interesting to see how Pragg will put further pressure. Bishop e4. Wow, a beautiful move. If you play f5, I'll put my bishop on d5, going into e6. So another nice move. He goes rook c7, and this is a huge mistake. And look at Pragg. He looks up, he's calculating, he just has seen the tactic instantly. That's how sharp Pragg is. He just sees it, and look at him, look at his expression there. It's actually blundering an entire piece here. He writes down his move and he is ready for this. Look at him looking at his opponent, and now boom, pawn to c5. This is game over, guys. Pawn cannot be taken with the pawn as the knight hangs, so you have to take it with the bishop. Ivan makes a huge blunder here with his bishop being trapped on d6. Bishop takes c5. Again, can't take with the pawn, you have to take with the rook. So rook takes, and here comes a very, very key move that is there, which is pawn to b4. And he plays it, pawn to b4. The point being, rook c4 is met with b takes a5 and rook takes a4 with a check and winning the entire house. So b4 actually nets a full piece here. Ivan resigns. Praggnanandhaa, what a sharp guy he is, able to completely turn around the game in a few moves. But I think Ivan played the first like 20 moves of this game like a super GM, maybe around 2800 strength, and then the next half of the game wasn't played particularly well. Pragg scores his first win in Samarkand, Uzbekistan of the FIDE Grand Swiss 2025, moving to 1.5 out of 2. And it will be very interesting to see how his momentum continues in this tournament.
Pragg, a solid start to the tournament, 2 out of 2. How are you feeling about today's game?
No, not 2 out of 2.
Oh, 1.5 out of 2, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 2 out of 2 would have been good, but yeah, okay. I mean, I think 1.5 is still decent at this tournament. Yeah, today's game I was not sure what was happening. I went for this knight e4 and original stuff during the game, which looked risky, but also, I mean, I was just trying to create chances, and he should have been fine, even after he got this pawn on b2, it should be fine. But somewhere there, I started to get optimistic. I thought double bishop, I can try to create chances. Okay, maybe we should just stand and finish this. This is difficult. I don't know how Sagar is managing all this. Yeah, I think it was slightly better and slowly started to get unpleasant for him. Overall, yeah, I think I'm happy with the game today. I think I was calculating well, so overall I think it's good.
Are you getting used to this time format?
I didn't really get to move 40 in both the games, so I can't really say I'm getting used to it.
A lot of people want to know.
Yeah, I can't say I played this time control yet, but no, this is a long time control and long tournament as well, so it's completely different than what I was playing throughout the year. So yeah, overall I'm just looking forward to playing more games in this field, because every game is difficult and you're also not so familiar with the opponent compared to, let's say, if I'm playing in Sinkiville, I know all the players well. Here it also takes time to to look at your opponent games and try to get to know their style and so on. So different challenges, and I'm enjoying the tournament so far.
Right. You are leading the FIDE circuit by a huge margin. Apart from doing better in the coming top 2 in this tournament, do you have any personal targets at Grand Swiss?
No, I think that's the target for everyone. So No, nothing else. I mean, I'll try to give my best and see how it goes, because this tournament is really difficult. You have to, I mean, anyone could potentially win, and I'll just try to do my best and see how it goes.
Great. Congratulations on today's win and all the very best for the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, thank you.